Hey YouTube, so League Turnover today, we have Match League Premier, which is on. Posted a video this morning for that, and if you want to check out some teams there. If you really want to check out some Great League teams, stay around. If you're a subscriber who watches all my videos, hit the like button, let your video run and go get yourself a snack or something, because you know what these teams coming are. They are the best teams from the last couple weeks here. Looking at the rankings, it is same old, same old. Not much change. I was looking, PVPoke does not have that new Pokemon up yet. Because I was looking up Mud, I saw a couple people do the videos on it, but look up Mud, rankings are not up yet, so maybe you'll see some of that Pokemon, but judging by the titles, do not seem to be that strong of Pokemon. Otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be more of the main meta, which is, I guess, good because you kind of know what you're getting going into this, and what you're getting is the meta from last season with more ghosts, less normal typings, essentially. So with some of these random Pokemon, like Furret here, so balanced team, Furret, Marowak, and Weezing. Marowak still is a fantastic safe swap in this meta. 2 shield beast, right? So you basically safe swap it. The hardest things are going to be like obviously grass. You're probably not going to win there, and your flyers are still a little tricky, but you have rock slide for those. Trying to think what else resists ground, but outside of that, 2 shield, it is a beast. You can maybe flip switch, which is what this team kind of deals with. Furret, only weak to fighting. Also going to have some problems with dark because your fast move is resisted, and same thing with fairies. And then in the back, you got a poison fairy that will deal with every single one of those Pokemon. So a very, very balanced team. Basically, you can stay in the lead with anything that's not a fighter, fairy, or dark. And if you see one of those, you say swap Marowak and go from there. So team number 2 is one that I used. I think I used it. I used this one? I think so. Emolga impressed me a lot. It is way better this season. I would not be surprised if I use Emolga again. I still think that Morpeko is probably the best Electric Pokemon. But at this point, I would put Emolga at the second best Electric Pokemon. The Discharge and Acrobatics buffs really change how this Pokemon plays out. So definitely one worth looking at if you haven't. And then Lapras and Dusknoir, obviously 2 other Pokemon that I got. Yeah, it's a straight buff team here. Emolga, Lapras with Psywave and Sparkling Aria is a dynamic combo, and then Dusknoir with dynamic punch buff and hex buff. Yeah, so this one, did I test hex on it? Yeah, I think I think a subscriber. Actually, no, this may be subscriber tested hex, and I go in over that video the difference between hex versus astonish. So if you want, I actually think I titled it like what's better, hex or astonish Dusknoir. Full analysis in that video. You can check out what sim's better and why, and the rationale. I kind of go over that towards the end of the video if you want to check that out. My bad team. Sableye, Drapion, Jumpluff, right? So Sableye is gonna be weak to fairy and have some problems with stuff that resists normal typing. Ghost typing, like normal and stuff like that. Drapion, safe swap, Jumpluff in the back. So my bad team. It's also sort of a balanced team. Like Drapion is weak to ground, and Jumpluff will deal with the ground. There. But I talked about how I thought that Sableye wasn't like a bit overrated. It wasn't as good as I thought it was. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's definitely one I can see myself using again to try and run. The foul plays coming quicker. It just plays differently. So you just gotta like be aware that it plays differently from how you have played in the past. And again, this is wow. What are you learning from this video? Is to go watch my other videos, because my other videos actually do. I think good job, me pat on the back. Good job explaining why some of these Pokemon are better and the teams are better than I thought they were. So Sableye, kind of talk about the history of Sableye, how it went from like a safe swap with return, turned into a now like closer with foul play and power gem, now into like a strong overall Pokemon lead or closer with the spammier foul play and dazzling gleam. So it's really an evolution of the Pokemon. So it plays like 3 different ways if you've played since season 1, which is why you probably need to go watch the video to understand the full ramifications of this Pokemon. Yeah, like I said, Morpeko is still fantastic. I've got it on another team coming up. But Cradily, Dusknoir, and Morpeko. Cradily is fantastic. I've already had it showcased at least one or maybe two other subscribers with Cradily. I've used it. It is very, very, very strong as a Pokemon. Just the coverage, and it plays like Dugong. And I again explained this in the video, but when you are running Dugong, you will see that 90% of the time, the person running Dugong throws Icy Wind. Even if it's resisted, a lot of times they throw Icy Wind because the lowering of the attack is so substantial to the sort of flipping the matchup if you are taking it to like the 2 shield and stuff like that. And Cradily is the same way. I've gone against this Pokemon multiple times and I've used it multiple times. And I would say 90 to 95% of the time, people are throwing Rock Tomb. I went up against one today when I was using Clodsire, and they still threw a resisted Rock Tomb. People just go for that Rock Tomb to lower your attack, because lowering the attack once does do a little bit of difference, but then when you start landing it the second and third time, it makes your opponent's Pokemon basically unusable, so they have to like reset. So it's very strong from that perspective, where you can like get a lot of Pokemon to get out of that, and can act as a stay swap because it has coverage, right? That rock grass typing is very unique because they offset a lot of their weaknesses. Like rock is weak to ground, but grass resists ground, so it's neutralized. Fire is super effective against grass, but rock resists fire, so it neutralizes that. So there's a lot of like neutralization of like weaknesses here, which kind of makes it like a nice sneaky Pokemon to use. This is my team. The other one was a subscriber. This is the one I used. So Primeape, very, very glassy on the front. So I wanted 2 bulkier Pokemon in the back. Cradily is your safe swap. And then Dusclops is just a beast in this meta. And it's for those of you who've been a subscriber for my channel for a long time, know that I hate Pokemon like Dusclops. I hate using them. They're the exact opposite of the Pokemon I like using. I like using Swampert and Feraligatr and Morpeko. Togedemaru. I like those. Very spammy, but like hard hitting, more glossy Pokemon. And Dusclops is, and I've called out like how pathetic Unova Stunfisk is. And Dusclops here is just it's a way elevated version of Unova Stunfisk, and the fact that like your spam on this thing is insane, as you can see in the move count there. 9996 for the Shadow Punch, and then 12 straight 9s for the Ice if you go straight Ice Punch. But with the Hex buff and the bulk on this thing, it is a menace. Just the amount of the Shadow Punches just spam so quickly, and you can just take a lot of damage. So it is a very, very, very strong Pokemon. Again, not one I normally would play like that, but it is worth every sort of penny. Team I just showcased, Pangoro with 2 safe swaps, Marowak and Drapion. Again, Drapion, Marowak, I've already talked about how strong they are. Maybe not Drapion yet, but yeah, if you've played for the last like 3 seasons, you'll know how strong Drapion is as a safe swap. Same with Marowak. So that leads to Pangoro, which is kind of a core breaker / meta killer in this, right? Because you got a bunch of ghosts that got buffed, and you as Dark resist ghosts. And because ghosts got buffed, there's a lot of darks coming out. And as a fighter, Dark, you're going to beat all the darks. So right off the bat, you beat 2 out of 3 meta. And then the third one is water. Like water's the main meta. And then your main waters are Feraligatr, which you resist Shadow Claw, and Lapras, which you resist Sparkling Aria. Sorry, not Sparkling Aria. You resist Psywave. And now there's a bunch of Psywave users that got buffed that you, because Dark double resists Psychic, and Fighting is weak to Psychic, net single resisted. So just a lot of resistances against the main meta. Very, very spammy. The close combat is a nuke. This thing is very glassy. This team may be a little too glassy. Just keep that in mind if you use it. You're going to be definitely using all your shields. And a couple older ones. I used Grumpig. I still think Psychic, I've multiple times, is not good in this meta, just because it is weak to Ghost and Dark, which there's a lot of in this meta. And I will go on the record again saying that Guzzlord is still very, very underrated, even though I see it popping up a lot more now. It's just so strong in this meta. So if you have not used Guzzlord yet, just if you have one, doesn't need to be good IVs, like 10, 5, 14. As long as it's under 1500, just use it. And then another one, last one? Nope, 2 more. Claydol, Dunsparce, Malamar. This was my earlier season one. I used Dunsparce just to check out the rollout user. I think there's probably other safe swaps that I prefer over Dunsparce at this point. Even normal, like Furret's an interesting one. I know I had it on the list here. I just find Sucker Punch is a little trickier to use as a safe swap, but it's still pretty good. But then other safe swaps that probably jumped up this season are like Lapras and stuff like that are just very, very strong. Malamar, huge improvement with the Psy Waves. The Foul Play, only 10 now. And then Cleedle, I don't want to call it Cleedle again for the Psychic weak and ground weakness, but there's too many weaknesses for that to be meta in my opinion. And another Emolga team. Yeah, like Emolga, fantastic. Help your weakness against Morpeko and sort of Ice too with Quagsire. Okay, so that is it. We'll probably do mostly Great League, but if you have some Master League Premier teams you want me to showcase, link in the description. Plus there's, I think, 1 or 2 events this week too, so we'll cover those. But that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.